Hello and welcome to another edition of UFO Video Addicts. Let me give you a preview of what I got coming up in this video. The first is some strange lights over Lake Michigan. Also have this old footage from, this was uploaded 2015, but it's actually from 1956 of some UFOs. Also have this video, Mexico City UFO sighted during a solar eclipse in 1991, and they got video from several different locations. Also have these two videos from Reddit that shows some UFOs crossing the moon. Got this video here and also this video here. This one I've actually played before, but I thought I would repost it again since this other one came up. I also have this very interesting interview here. This is almost an hour long, but we're just going to listen to a little section of it where this guy, Scott Walter, reveals some information that he found out from one of his insider buddies. And let's see, also have this article here, Hunters Tracked by UFO and its Occupants in 2011. Also have this article here, The Truth is Out There, but this company holding UFO info won't share it. And then last is this article about this Mexico will rebury 600-year-old Aztec tunnels because it can't afford a display amid COVID crisis, which I think is ridiculous. I'm sure there must be some other reason besides money. They can create money for anything that they want. If they're using money as an excuse to not do something, there's definitely something else going on. But anyways, let's go to this first video here. Let me go full screen on this. This is mysterious bright UFO light information over Lake Michigan. Now, actually, this happened in 2016. So let's check this out. Let me go back a little. Yeah, that's a pretty straight line. Good. This is just over 5 minutes. I can't play the whole thing. I'll get hit with copyright violations, but the link will be in the descriptions. Basically, it's just checking this out over and over again. Let's see. This is an old footage from 1956. I think it's actually two different videos of UFOs, but let's just check out this one first. There's that, and then there's some other. Yeah, these are different. Let's see. That's actually Here we go. And I guess you can really tell. This footage is from the 1950s. I don't think anyone like recently is going out recreating these, as hoax. It definitely could be done, but. You'd have to prove to me that, that someone did it. Otherwise, I'm going to believe this is authentic footage from 1950s showing UFOs. Anyways, let's go to this footage here. Now, this one, I'm going to go ahead and play the whole thing since I found it on Reddit. Let's see. Let's go back to about here. Yeah, now, again, this was, during a solar eclipse. So there's a bunch of people with cameras out there.
Aircraft hovering in the sky over Mexico City. But when reviewing the footage later, many people noted the intruder. It seemed to be made of metal that reflected the sunlight, and it was shaped like a classic flying saucer. The sighting created quite a stir, and even the TV media became involved. In the days following the eclipse, the staff of Televisa, one of Mexico's largest private TV networks, was flooded with videos of the mysterious aircraft. The public's curiosity grew. What exactly was the object filmed during the eclipse? Where did it come from?
Well, I'm going to say it came from our oceans because, look, I'm a firm believer that we are not alone on the planet, folks. Anyways, let's go to this other video here. Yeah, now, like I said, this is two different videos of fleets of UFOs going across the moon. Check this. Let me go full screen on this one. Now, yeah, you're going to hear, you can kind of see these little tiny dots. Yeah, this is just before he changes a filter. But yeah, you can see these, some tiny objects leaving the moon surface, or at least that's what it looks like. Yeah, color corrected to get a better look. And now watch up here, top left corner. Here they go. Now, granted, that's very strange. That's a very strange movement. That's a very, very strange movement. I have to say that. Anyways, let's go to this next one here. Now, this one I'm pretty sure I've played before, but you can tell, these are both taken from Earth. Anyways, check this out here. Now, what you're going to see are these crafts, slowly move across the moon's surface, and it's going to cast a shadow. There it is. There's the first craft. There's a second craft coming. You see them right here? There, it cast a shadow. And, and based on how close these things are, obviously, to the moon's surface, I'm going to say these are pretty giant ships, too. These must be enormous. But anyways, link to those will be in the description. Let's go to, okay, yeah, now this one here, this is where this guy, what is his name? Scott Wolter, he talks about this group called the Church. And from my understanding, the Church are a group of very religious people within our government that hold a lot of power and authority. And they're basically the people that are withholding the UFO information because, again, it's supposedly going to disrupt, their belief system. But anyways, I'm not going to be able to play the whole thing, but, I've only listened to it from this point on, from 4435 forward. Actually, I listened to a little bit, before, just so I can get some idea of what this, of what led up to what he's about to say. Yeah, so I would, suggest listening to the whole thing, but really, it's just really the last 40 minutes, from 40 minutes to 58, where he gets into some very, very interesting information. But anyways, let me just play what he has to say here.
No, but seriously, I got a call from the Department of Defense, and basically they asked me if I would be willing to help with disclosure.
Oh.
Do you know what that is?
Yes.
Absolutely, we do.
Which they didn't do a good job of this month anyway.
Well, let me know. Well, they did and they didn't. Okay, first of all,
that is important. That is significant, what he just said, by the way.
if they did they release everything that they know? I mean, hell no, not even close.
No.
Right.
Was it a start? Yes, it's a start. You want to know the truth? Part of the problem that
if that was a rhetorical question, I'll answer it anyway. Yes, we want to know.
I knew you'd want to know. Part of the reason is that the church is holding back. They are not ready to tell their followers the whole truth, and the reason is obvious because a lot of people are going to go, "Oh well, if there's aliens, then what are we talking to you guys for? Maybe everything you've been telling us isn't true." But getting back to what you said, Rocky, about seeding.
Okay, it starts to break up here, but yeah, I don't want to play too much of it. I'll get hit with a copyright violation. But I definitely suggest listening to the rest of this guy's conversation. I mean, I hate that these two idiots keep interrupting him, when he's about to say something significant. But yeah, listen to what he has to say. And, remember, he admits it. It's a group called the Church, that's within our government that are some super religious fundamentalists who have a lot of power and authority in our government, and they're the ones that are responsible for withholding a lot of this UFO information. But anyways, check out the link. It'll be in the description. Let me go to this article here that I found. Hunters tracked by a UFO and its occupants, 2011. Background. This encounter occurred in the early hours of Monday, the 12th December 2011, in the foothills of the Kaimai Rangers Bay of Plenty region, North Island, New Zealand. A group of three men, John Andrew and Lewis, not his real name, had been hunting and were returning to their vehicle through scrubland and bush when the event occurred. A fourth witness, W4, Andrew's 12-year-old son, had accompanied them, but the article will focus on the experience of the three adults. John and Andrew are experienced hunters, while Lewis had never previously been out hunting. John has hunted on the family-owned land where the sighting occurred since childhood and is familiar with the distinct sights, sounds, and smells of New Zealand bush, as is Andrew. The group had one rifle with them. The weather was cloudy with rain and drizzle, but the outlines of surrounding hills were visible against the sky. The duration of the event was up to 1 hour. At around 3 a.m., the hunters were returning through scrubland around 3.5 kilometers from where their vehicle was parked in a farm paddock. They stopped to rest on a low hill where pine trees had been clear-felled, enabling them to have uninterrupted views over the surrounding area. John noticed an orange light in the distance about 4 to 5 kilometers away and alerted the rest of the group to it in case it was another hunter. The light was moving over paddocks on the side of a familiar landmark hill, and they decided to sit down, turn off their torch, and observe its movement with their safety in mind. The men later described how the light would hover, zigzag sharply, swing from side to side like a pendulum, move across the side of the hill at speeds, and come to a sudden stop, and perform an unusual square movement, which we later established was the light rising, passing over and down the other side of a line of pine trees. Well, that's all I'm going to read for now. But anyways, if you want to check out the rest of it, the link will be in the description. Let's go to this article here. The truth is out there, but this company holding UFO info won't share it. I wonder if they have some connection to, this group called the Church. Anyways, NAV Canada is sitting on 25 years of UFO evidence from pilots and the military. A private company holds some of Canada's most compelling UFO data, and it has no interest in sharing it. From air traffic control towers to radar installations, NAV Canada directs thousands of flights per day. That makes the company the first line of contact when professional pilots spot UFOs in Canadian airspace, like on the morning of October 21st, 2005, when NAV Canada staff received reports from 4 aircraft flight crews of a shiny silver object over Toronto. Now, I wonder who gives this private company the authority to withhold, information like this. I mean, if there are objects in the skies of Canada, why does a private company get to withhold that information? I find that very strange. But anyways, the link to this will be in the description. Let's see. Let's go to this last article here. Mexico will rebury 600-year-old Aztec tunnel because it can't afford a display amid COVID crisis. Again, I'm pretty sure that's a bunch of bullshit there. They most likely found something very significant and they have to withhold it. Mexico will rebury 600-year-old Aztec tunnel because it can't afford to display amid COVID crisis. In a strange turn of events, researchers in Mexico have announced they plan to rebury an unusual archaeological monument found in the outskirts of Mexico City, covering up an important historical discovery until some unknown time in the future. The discovery in question is a tunnel built centuries ago as part of an Albarracón de Alcatepec, I'm sure I butchered that, a flood control system of dikes and waterways constructed to protect the historical city of Tenochtitlan from rising waters. Tenochtitlan, widely viewed as the capital of the Aztec Empire, featured numerous dam systems to prevent flooding from torrential rains. But Spanish conquistadors failed at first to appreciate the ingenuity of this indigenous infrastructure, destroying many of the pre-Hispanic construction in the early years of Spanish colonization. However, after numerous floods inundated the early colonial Mexico City, the Albarracón de Ecatepec and other flood control systems like it were built or repaired in the early 1600s. Interesting. The tunnel was first discovered by labor workers who were digging in the area in order to build a bus stop. The tunnel is more than 600 years old and was built by Aztecs. You know, I'm going to question that 600-year-old date, and also that fact that it was built by Aztecs. Again, you know, a lot of times, a lot of this old stuff, they don't want to tell us the truth about it. They don't want to acknowledge that there were highly advanced civilizations living alongside, you know, primitive earthlings back then. And they were most likely responsible for a lot of the ancient megaliths that we encounter today. But anyways, that is going to be it for this video. If you like things like this, please give this video a thumbs up. Please share this video. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'll have more things like this. Take care.